Capital One Venture and Capital One Venture X. Two cards with very similar names, but very different benefits. Listen in as we take a deep dive into both and help you decide which one makes the most sense for your situation. Welcome to Points Talk with the Travel Mom Squad. We are three moms who've discovered how to leverage credit card welcome offers to get hundreds of thousands of dollars of travel expenses for nearly free. We've used credit card points and miles to take vacations to places like Hawaii, Paris, Greece, Maldives, Japan, and so much more. And the best part? We each still have 800 plus credit scores. Imagine being able to take the vacation of your dreams for nearly free. It's totally possible, and we're here to show you how.
Hey, I'm Alex.
And I'm Pam, Alex's mom.
And I'm Jess. Let's talk points. Capital One Venture miles are some of the easiest miles to redeem, whether you want to transfer them out to hotel and airline transfer partners or use them to erase travel purchases that you normally can't cover with points and miles. They're useful for just about everyone. So first, let's get into the details of each of these cards. It's another showdown on Points Talk, and this time it is the Capital One Venture versus the Capital One Venture X. So Pam, why don't you tell us a little bit more about these cards?
Well, so first of all, you can have both the Venture card and you can have the Venture X card. You can have both of them. You just have to make sure that you've waited at least 6 months between applications, as you can only open one or apply for one Capital One card every 6 months. I do want to say a little caveat in here is that I wouldn't say they're sometimes the easiest cards to be approved for. I'd say that the bank is just a little bit, I always call them quirky. It's like it doesn't make any sense why you get approved or don't get approved. For instance, my husband got the Venture X card and I applied about the same time. Same score, same everything. I'm denied. I try about 6 months later. I'm denied again. And finally, after about a year and a half, they approved me. Now, there's no difference between anything that he and I had. So I say they're quirky. So if you get a denial from them on any of their cards, just move on, and just wait, because it's really hard in this to not take things personally. We get a lot of comments from people. I have a great credit score. I pay everything off. I do everything right. And Capital One denied me for the Venture X. And so just, don't worry about it. That's my big piece of advice. And also sometimes it helps to open them up early, one of them at least early in your career, because if you have had a lot of inquiries, then sometimes they don't want to approve you. Although it just doesn't make sense. My husband had a lot of inquiries too.
Can I just say that I love that you called this a career early in your career.
Did I say that?
Yes, but I'm being serious. I loved it. I hope you guys all take this seriously. This is your points and miles career.
I guess I take it pretty seriously, don't I?
Well, you do. I mean, it is our jobs. It is your career.
Yes, it is. It is. But, even if it wasn't my career, it would still kind of be my career. It would be my serious hobby, at least.
Yes, for
so,
sure.
Anyway, so let's talk first about the Venture card. That the standard offer on that is 75,000 points after spending $4,000 in 3 months. It comes with a $120 credit towards global entry or pre-check. I think we've talked before. You might as well just go for the global entry because it includes pre-check. It does have a $95 annual fee. The second card is the Venture X card. The standard offer on that is the same, 75,000 points after spending $4,000 in 3 months. It too has a $120 credit towards global entry or pre-check, but it does come with a $300 annual travel credit that you can redeem in the Capital One travel portal. What that means that you can go in and that portal, say you book a hotel, you book a flight, you use your Venture X card to pay for that, you're going to get that up to $300 credit back. It comes with unlimited access to Capital One lounges if you've heard us talk about Capital One lounges, you know that we love them. Cutest way of presenting food of any of the lounges, in my opinion. Individual portions, great cookies. You know, I all love my chocolate covered raisins that I get there. I can make up for any annual fee through my treats that I get in Capital One lounges. It comes with Priority Pass membership and 10,000 miles each year on your card member anniversary. It does come with a $395 annual fee, and that stumps people. They go, oh my goodness, I don't want to pay that. That's so much money to pay. Why would I get that card? Well, if you take off the $300 annual travel credit, that brings it down to $95. That means it's the same as the annual fee for the venture card. But when you get those 10,000 miles each year on your card member anniversary, that's worth $100. And if you're like me, you know, with all the treats that you're getting, it's nothing. So, you know, I think, you know, in that way, they're very similar. What I really love about these cards is that they are so simple to use. It is a flat. You earn 2 times on every purchase you make. You don't have to stop and think about it. These are my go-to cards when I travel internationally. There isn't a international
Foreign transaction fee.
Yeah, no international foreign transaction fee. I don't have to think about it. You know, this is their go-tos for me.
These are the cards. Well, I actually have my Venture X right now saved on my Amazon account. I'll switch that around if other cards have like promotions where you're earning more at Amazon, but otherwise, like I just leave this one saved on my Amazon account to get the 2X. It's a good one. I just love that it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's my go-to card for Costco also because I'm just like 2X at Costco, easy. Yeah, I agree. Like my Venture X is in my wallet at all times. Other cards I will rotate in and out, but Venture X always in my wallet.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the big differences between these cards. And actually, before I get into that, I was just looking up earlier when my mom was talking. We have a whole episode about Capital One Venture Miles. So if you want to learn more about like how do these points actually work, then check out episode 38. That's the whole episode is how to use Venture Miles. So anyways, but back to this one, we're going to talk about the big differences between the cards. So the Venture X, so like my mom said, they both earn 2X everywhere. Super easy. But the Venture X also earns 5 times the points on flights and vacation rentals booked through the Capital One travel portal, and then 10X on hotels and rental cars booked through the portal. The regular venture card earns 5X on hotels and vacation rentals and rental cars booked through the portal. Now, we very, very, very rarely book through the portal, so this doesn't sway us one way or the other. But sometimes, like I use my $300 travel credit, and if so for example, I recently used one of ours. So my husband and I have the Venture X and Venture X business, and he has the Venture X business. They both have the $300. They both have the $300 travel credit. And so we get a lot of those credits every year with that. And so I used one of them for flights for my family. We're going with the kids to Europe, and I got us flights from Amsterdam to London. And they were about $100 per person. They were very cheap flights, which was why I decided to fly instead of take the train because it was going to be a lot faster. And obviously, you know, there's 6 of us. So it was like just over $600 about. I couldn't pay for all of it with one credit. And so the other $300 got charged to my Venture X card. And so I will earn 5X on that $300 I spent extra on those flights. So it does come in handy, even if you're not booking your whole trip through the portal.
I also wanted to add that the addition of vacation rentals is relatively new. And so I know a lot of people are asking, you know, especially when they're traveling with families, are asking us like how to redeem points and miles for vacation rentals or how to like maximize those charges. And so if you can, I haven't really looked into it a ton. I looked at it earlier today and it looks really cool. It's kind of like Airbnb, VRBO. But if you can get 10x, oh no, it's
That one's
5x.
5x.
So, but if you can get 5x on a vacation rental through the portal, that could be worth it,
Yeah.
versus, I mean, you have to compare the price. You got to go to like maybe Airbnb or VRBO and compare and see. Obviously, if one of those is significantly cheaper, then that's going to kind of cancel out any of the benefit of getting 5x. But if it's comparable, that could be a really great way to book a
Yeah,
vacation rental.
for sure.
It's just,
So another difference between the cards is the Venture X comes with that lounge access that my mom mentioned. With the regular Venture card, it used to come with 2 free visits each year to Capital One or Plaza premium lounges. So you just have like a day pass, basically, 2 of those. But that's ending on December 31st, 2024. So if you have a Venture card, you want to go ahead and try to use those if you get the opportunity before the end of this year. So after that, regular Venture card will have no lounge access associated with it. So, and then once again, my mom said the Venture X comes with that 10,000 miles on your anniversary card or on your anniversary each year. That's worth a minimum of $100. So if you just cashed out those miles or did the purchase eraser, you're going to get $100 towards travel. So that 10,000 bonus points plus the annual travel credit is more than offsetting that $395 annual fee. So now let's say you have the Venture or the Venture X card and you want to get that card again. I am in that boat where I have the Venture X card, and of course I would love to get it again. But you have to wait 48 months from when you received that initial welcome offer to apply again. And like my mom said, like Capital One's pretty quirky with their approvals. And so for myself, I'm not too concerned about getting a welcome offer on a Venture X card again. For now, I'm just like, there's so many other cards that it's not on my mind. Maybe someday I'll be like, oh, maybe I'm starting to run low and I'd like to get that welcome offer again. Then I'll think about it then. But for now, I'm just like, I have my Venture X card. I have no plans to get rid of it. And I love it.
yeah, I'm the same way. It makes me nervous. I think next year actually will be 48 months for me, but it makes me nervous to close my Venture X and then potentially not be able to reopen it because, like I said, I rely a lot on that card. It's always in my wallet. So yeah, I'm a little bit hesitant to attempt that, but I could see myself doing it with the regular Venture. Like if I had
Yeah.
both, I could see myself just never trying to get the Venture X again, just out of fear of not being able to, but using the Venture as like my card that I close and attempt to reopen.
Another option would be like, because I have the Venture X and the Venture X business, I don't need to keep both of those cards long term. I haven't had the Venture X business card long enough yet, I don't think, to go ahead and cancel it. I don't remember exactly when I got it. I need to look into that. But that is one where I could be like, okay, well, maybe I'll get the Venture X business card again. But you guys, I haven't even had the regular Venture card. I actually just applied for it a week ago and was not approved. So there we go. Very quirky. They don't like when you apply for a lot of credit cards, when you have a lot of either when you have a lot of credit cards or you aren't using a lot of your available credit. And I obviously have a lot of credit cards and I don't use a lot of my available credit. So that is why we recommend getting one of these cards early on in your journey,
In your career.
in your career. Get it early on in your career so you know that. You guys, I love career. I think we should go with that because you guys, we want you all to make a career of this, not a career, but like, you're invested. I am here for points and miles. This isn't just I'm going to open a card or two. You guys are making it a career.
Well, I am here for Capital One Venture Miles. I love Capital One Venture Miles. And my husband and I each have the Venture Card, the Venture X business.
Dang, how did you weasel your way into all 3 of those?
Yeah. So, like I said, and I did get my denials. So you just have to sometimes be persistent and then suddenly get lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
I've used those so much. So at some point I will have to try to get them again when the time is right, because I would say I have used so many venture miles to travel to Europe in business class. That's probably been one of my most used currencies for that. And so it just freaks me out when I see my numbers start going down. So love Capital One Venture Miles.
Yeah, I would say that's my second favorite points are probably venture miles.
Yeah, me too.
Agree. Look at that, unanimous. Well, if you decide to apply for a Capital One Venture or Venture X after listening to today's episode, we would appreciate it so much if you use one of our affiliate links. They are a great way to support us at no additional cost to you. We're going to put links to both of these cards in the show notes. All right, so let's talk about some considerations when you're deciding which one of these to apply for. So, as Pam said, you can technically have both of these, but if you only want one, or if you only want one to start, because you also have to wait a minimum of 6 months between applying for them, here are some things you might consider that might sway you one way or another. So, the first one is, do you travel frequently? If yes, then it's probably worth getting the Venture X for that lounge access and for that $300 annual travel credit. If you travel and you know that you can use $300 on a hotel, that maybe not everywhere we travel has hotels that are like in the brands that you can use points for, or maybe like I have 0 Marriott points. And so if I'm going somewhere and Marriott is really my only option, that might be a time where I book a hotel through the portal. You can also use it for rental cars and for flights. And so if you know, like, hey, in the next 12 months, I'm going to have an expense that I can use this $300 travel credit for, that effectively brings the annual fees like the same. It goes from $395 to $95, and then the venture is $95. And then, like Pam said, you get the $10,000, not $10,000. That would be amazing. You get 10,000 anniversary miles, which is equivalent to at least $100. So I think if you're a frequent traveler, or even just a few times a year traveler, then the Venture X is the clear winner. If you live in a city with a Capital One lounge, so like Pam, Lucky Duck Pam, who has pretty much every possible lounge, if you live in Denver, Dallas, or Washington, D.C., I think the Venture X is a no-brainer. Because you have access to those Capital One lounges, and those are personally my favorite lounges. There are also Capital One lounges coming to Las Vegas and JFK soon. So if you're in if you live near those airports, that would be another situation where I would personally choose the Venture X. Do you redeem your points in the portal often? So they both earn 2x on everyday purchases, but the Venture X has higher earnings through the portal. And so if you're someone who prefers to book through the portal, you're frequently booking through the portal, then you're going to earn a lot more points by using your Venture X. But like Alex said, we transfer 99% of our points to partners. We are not often booking through the portal. So for us personally, that does not factor into the equation, but it might for you. Again, this is all assuming that the welcome offers are what they are now. So they're both currently at their standard offer. The offers are actually exactly the same, 75,000 miles after spending $4,000 in 3 months. If the Venture X had a 100,000 mile welcome offer, or the Venture had a 100,000 mile welcome offer, we would choose that one. Because at the end of the day, welcome offers are how we rack up a majority of our pointed miles. And so that's always going to be priority number one. But assuming that those are the standard offers like they are now, then those other things are some things to consider.
One question that we get fairly often is people asking us if they should upgrade their Venture card to a Venture X card. And we always suggest that you do not do that, because then you will not get a welcome offer on that upgrade. So the only way you get a welcome offer is if you opened the card originally, or occasionally they'll have like upgrade offers. I know Amex will do that, but they're not usually as good than if you just go open the card on its own. And so if you have a Venture and you're thinking, man, I'd really like to get the Venture X, I would just apply for the Venture X and hope that you get approved for both. If you don't, then you could decide later, like how bad you want that Venture X card. But keep in mind, like you could also try for a Venture X business card that has all the same benefits as the Venture X personal card. So there's that option too. If you're thinking like I got denied for the personal, maybe I'll get approved for the business. So yeah, we aren't fans of upgrading as like a general rule. We're like all like Jess said, welcome offers priority one. So we're not looking to upgrade our cards.
All right. So, like I said, you can technically have both. But if I wanted to ask you both a question, if you had to choose one, say you didn't have any Capital One cards right now, and tomorrow you were going to wake up and apply for either the Venture or the Venture X, which one would you choose? Pam, you go first.
Venture X, because the annual fee is actually zero when you put in all the benefits. So I would definitely do the Venture X.
Alex?
I'm going to do the Venture X as well. I really love the lounge access that comes with it, even though there's not a Capital One lounge in Salt Lake City. We fly through Denver fairly often. It's often a connecting flight for us. And just this summer, my husband and I have the Venture X personal, he has the business. You can bring 2 guests when you go through with your Venture X cards. So we each were able to bring a kid. So our whole family is able to go in the lounge, which another side thing, if you have a Venture X personal card and you make someone let's say my husband was an authorized user on my card, keep in mind it will take a 524 slot. But let's just say I made him an authorized user. He also gets the lounge access and can bring 2 guests. So essentially, if you just have the Venture X personal card and you make an authorized user, you can bring your family of 6 into a lounge by paying one $395 annual fee, which is pretty wild, especially when Amex doesn't even let you bring 1 guest for free to the Centurion Lounge. So that for us, like when we went to the lounge last time, we got there around like 10-ish, maybe 10:30, and we were able to have we had a second breakfast there because we ate at home before we left. We had breakfast, and then we were there long enough that they started to bring out the lunch menu. So then we got lunch. And like my mom said, she makes her money back in chocolate covered raisins. So we got some desserts too. They have that amazing grab and go where we grabbed some waters before we left, grabbed another cookie before we left. It is such a money saver when you can go to the lounge and take your whole family, because you go and get a meal and it's like probably paying at least $10 to $15 for my kids to eat at the airport. Then my food is probably like, maybe 15 to 20. It's so expensive to eat at the airport. And so that right there is why we're doing Venture X, because it is so nice to be able to go to that lounge.
All right. Well, it's unanimous because I would also choose the Venture X for basically every reason that you both have already said. I feel like with the Venture X, Capital One is paying me to have this card. I know that they're technically not, but between the 120 global entry credit, the travel credit, the lounge access, and the 10,000 anniversary miles, I feel like I'm making money from Capital One by holding this card. And so, yeah, to me, it's like no question, Venture X.
So which cards? I know, Mom, you said that you and Dad had all of the Venture cards. Jess, what do you and Ted have?
We each have a Venture X and a Venture X business. So we have 4 total. I had the Venture card a long time ago.
So you're eligible to get it again.
I am eligible for the Venture card. I probably opened my Venture card. It was one of my first cards I ever opened. And it's because Jennifer Garner got me in those commercials. I was like watching TV and she was on there. And I was like, man, I need to get that card.
Yeah, because Capital One, when we first got started, Capital One didn't have transfer partners. And then they got transfer partners, and their transfer partners were really bad. It was like 2 points equaled 1 airline mile kind of thing. And then they became amazing, and everybody was like, okay, Capital One's here to play. This is legit now.
Yeah, they like stormed onto the scene. And so I had it back in like probably 2016, I think, when I got the regular Venture. And I only kept it for a year, and then I closed it because the $95 annual fee, it was like too crazy for me. But Yeah, so I'm eligible. It's just a matter for me, it's just been an issue, like, I'm constantly 424, and so if I open it, then that makes me 524, and I'd rather not, and so but yes, one of these days, I will.
Has Ted had?
He may have gotten it, like, back in 2016 when I got it. I don't
Yeah.
remember, but I think I mean, it definitely he definitely hasn't had it in the last 48 months. We're both eligible for it.
See, I have never had the Capital One Venture card, and I've applied for it twice. One was probably like 3 years ago I applied, and then the other one was a week ago. But yeah, like my mom said, I didn't sweat it. I knew going in, it was like, yeah, it's a 50-50 chance here. And then I was approved, well, I'll try again in a couple years. And then Mitch has never had the Venture X personal card. So he wasn't approved for that one. I only applied for it. I've only tried to get it for him once. So maybe that will be one I try to get for him later this year. Because he's only 124 right now. He might even be 0. He's been opening a lot of business cards.
Okay, slacker.
No. You guys, this is getting a bit off topic, but Jess you posted your travel freely. In the app, it shows you the points you've earned so far this year. And I almost wanted to post mine because like, you guys, I never beat Jess at anything. She always has opens more cards and earns the most points. Well, more, maybe doesn't beat my mom, but beats me. Not that it's a competition, but I was like, ooh, I've earned more points than Jess so far this year. Granted, the year's not over, but I like almost posted it to be like, ooh, I'm not slacking. I've earned 1.4 million points this year.
Whoa, I'm going to be bottom of the barrel this year, just letting you know.
Okay, so you're at 1.4.
Shoot, did you just finish a welcome offer?
No,
You're
I
gonna
didn't. I didn't.
I was like, oh gosh, here we go.
I mean, I'm close. I'm at 1.37. So you have like 30,000 more points than me.
Well, I'm gonna check because that wasn't the exact number. I'm at 1.44.
All right. So you have almost 100,000 more than I
And
do.
I'm about to get another welcome offer. I'm gonna get another 120,000 points soon. And I just opened a card for Mitch that's gonna get him 50,000.
You're killing it this year. Yeah, we're not working on any minimum spends right now. So
I'm not either. Crazy.
Yeah.
Alex is going to be top dog this year.
This is my year. I mean, we've got a few months left, so I'm gonna celebrate this victory as long as I can because I know you two are probably gonna come out at the end of the year guns blazing and kick me off my throne.
Well, you really can't go wrong with either the Capital One Venture card or the Venture X card. Maybe after tuning in today, you've decided that you just can't choose and that you need to have both of them. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review and share the episode with a friend. Thanks so much for your support.
Thanks so much for listening to Points Talk with the Travel Mom Squad. Make sure to hit the subscribe or follow button from wherever you're listening so you never miss an episode. Want to start jet setting even faster? Follow the links in the show notes to learn about everything we discussed in today's episode. And to stay connected and follow along, follow us on Instagram at Travel Mom Squad. We can't wait to see where in the world points and miles take you.